Hello and welcome to my report, EastMojo's daily news review bulletin update. I am Simran Bajaj, your host for today. We bring you the latest news and developments from East and Northeast of India. Today we're being joined by our state correspondents. We have Chandan Pandey from Tripura, Princess Giri Rashi from Meghalaya, Bangamla Saleh Kapai from Manipur, Nadolino Ambrosia from Nagaland, and Pankaj Dungal from Sikkim. So today we've witnessed that several new cases have been reported across the states. So first, let's go to Chandan for the latest updates from Tripura.
Yes, thank you, Simran. Yes, in last 24 hours, Tripura has reported around 100 cases, and today 49 cases were reported in the afternoon, as Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Dev has tweeted and informed us. So with this, the total number of cases in Tripura has crossed 500 mark, and now it stands at 520 positive cases. Out of these, 173 patients who have already been cured and discharged from the COVID care center and GVP COVID hospital. Also, speaking about the data that I have in my hand, this shows that so far around 31,491 samples have been collected from across the state in all the 8 districts that we have. And out of that, 29,066 samples have already been tested. So this this shows that the number of samples are increasing every day, and the state is doing tests for around 1,000 samples every day. The tweet that Chief Minister gave this afternoon, in that he has mentioned that around 821 samples were tested, which means in next 1 to 3 hours we'll get another tweet from him, because it has become a trend in our state. Like earlier, he used to tweet what do I say? At the end of the day, he should tweet and inform us what is the total status and positive cases. But now, what he does, he tweets twice in a day, not unlike Assam, where each and every single cases are informed by Himanta Biswa Sharma, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma. So this has become a trend in our state. He informs us twice in a day, and so far we have got 49 cases, and it is likely that the number will increase further, as we have spoken with the PRO of Health Department. So this is something to be afraid about. Also, there are some news coming that people in the rural area are now afraid, since there are chances that this virus will spread into among the community, as people are returning from various parts. And so far around 15,000 people have returned, and not everyone is placed in facility quarantine. Although the government has set up village quarantine facility for people who face problem in staying their family members, but there are still a large number of people who like to live with the family and who are living with the family. So among them, if any person who is not tested, whose sample is not collected, he might be infected and his family will get infected.
Chandan, sorry to cut you in between. So you're saying that they're living with their families. Are they home quarantine, or have they just gone back to the normal residential setup where they live normally?
Yes, they have been put in home quarantine with their along with the families, and once the samples are collected in the railway station, they are placed in home quarantine with their family, where they're living with their family. They're not staying separately once the samples are collected. So far we have got around 10 cases which was contact based samples, like somebody who has come from the other part of the country and his family members were here. They have tested positive since he was placed in home quarantine. So this is something, even if a single person who was there at that place, he goes out in the market and he meets with some other person, random people, then there is a huge chances of getting a community transmission, and for which the government is preparing. The government is taking stock of everything. The Chief Minister himself is visiting today in 2 districts of the state. He's taking care of everything. The government, the department, health department especially, they're working tirelessly, and we are getting all the updates. So far, at present, if I speak about the number of people who have been put under facility quarantine, it's around 460, and while 13,048 people are in home quarantine. So this is when it comes about Tripura.
Thank you for that update, Chandan. Now, I'm going to be giving you updates from Assam. So today in Assam, 111 new cases were detected and 67 people were discharged after testing negative for COVID-19 twice. So with that, the tally in Assam is total number of reported cases is 1,672 cases, of which 1,261 are active cases. 404 people have been discharged, and Assam has seen 4 deaths, COVID-related deaths, and 3 people have migrated to other states. Of the discharged patients, 39 are from Sonapur Civil Hospital, 10 are from FAAMC Barpeta, 7 from Dima Hasav Civil Hospital, 4 from Guwahati Medical College and Hospital, 3 from Jorhat Medical College and Hospital, 2 from Silchar Medical College and Hospital, 1 from Mahendra Mohan Chaudhary Hospital in Guwahati, and another from Kolaghat Civil Hospital. So that's all that we have from Assam. Now let's head on to Sikkim. Sikkim has reported its second COVID case today. So let's get the updates from Pankaj. Pankaj?
Yeah, hi Simran. So we just reported the second positive case from Sikkim. This was early in the morning that we got the update. Apparently, the patient was brought into the STNM hospital late last night. He was shifted at around 4 a.m. to the isolation ward, where another patient already is still in the isolation, who was the first positive patient, who was a Delhi returnee. Speaking specifically about the second case that came into light today, he was a 56-year-old male who had recently commuted from Delhi along with his daughter and his nephew, and they commuted in the Shramik train, which had almost 856 people from Sikkim on board on it. This was one of the biggest consignment of people who had come through from any other part of the state and any other part of the country. So from once he got down at New Jalpaiguri after the train journey was concluded, they were ferried in a bus by the Sikkim Nationalized Transport, which is led by the Transport Department, and there were 23 people identified who were in the bus with him. The contact tracing for those people are also being currently being done, and given the update, which is yet to be properly updated, but given the last few updates from the district collector here in the east, Mr. Raj Yadav, he had mentioned that there could be around 24 people who would be in the quarantine facility along with the second COVID positive patient. 24 people were in the mining quarantine facility. It is already like 40 kilometers away from Gangtok. Given the scenario that is right now, I think the second case has created some form of panic amongst the people also, because this is the second time a Delhi returnee is actually has tested positive. The concern now delves upon the other major lot of people who are coming into the state. They are coming from Mumbai, and they're scheduled to reach either by tomorrow or the day after. They're being ferried in a journey, in a train journey, and this is bigger than 856, which is originally from Delhi. So when we come back to the case, now it's still an argument that's going around with the number of stranded people that were brought in. There are 2,737 people who are currently placed under quarantine facilities, different government quarantine facilities across the state, and more people are still coming through. And given the scenario, I think it's a bit of a concern. But among the positive thing that came into light today with the positive case that happened was this was the first positive case that was recorded in the recently inaugurated viral lab that came into being here at STNM Hospital. So amongst 800 odd samples that they have collected so far, which have come through as negative, this was the one case that came through as a positive. It appears the person was sharing the room of the quarantine facility along with his daughter and his nephew. But ironically, or on the safer side, it is they both of them have come through as negative. So it has given the health department a lot of hope that probably all the contact tracing that might be identified as the days go by, they could also come through as negative. Yes, that's the update.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that update. Now, our Arunachal correspondent Irani Sonal could not join us today, so I'll be giving you the brief from the state. First of all, a new case was detected in the state today afternoon. With this, Arunachal Pradesh has 29 total cases, of which 28 are active cases, and one person has recovered. The recovered is the first case that was reported in the state, and this person recovered in the month of April. Also, there are several reports of landslides due to heavy rainfall across Arunachal Pradesh. Our correspondent is filing a report about that, and you will find a detailed report of that at www.eastmojo.com. Now, let's head on to Nagaland, where our correspondent Meadow is going to give us updates on the fresh COVID cases.
Yes, Simran. So this morning, 9 new COVID cases were reported here in the state. The health minister, has informed it on Twitter. And all these 9 new cases are also related to the Shramik special train that arrived from Chennai on May 22. And with a total of 58 active cases in the state, now our state, all of these active cases are related to this Shramik special train and are all Chennai returnees. And in regard to the contact tracing, the Principal Director of Health and Family Welfare has informed that specific numbers were not provided, but since all are returnees from Chennai and they are put under the facility quarantine, it is easier for the state government to trace the contacts. However, like I've said, the specific numbers of how many people have been traced was not declared. Also, we yet to receive the latest details about how many are asymptomatic and how many are symptomatic. But as we receive the information, we will also be putting it up on our website. And of this 58 cases and the 9 new cases that we reported today, the total for the district, for the Tree district, has gone up. For Kohima, it is 17. For Dimapur, it is 36. And Tuensang was at 5, and it still remains at 5. But with 17 cases in Kohima and 36 cases in Dimapur, and the rising cases in these 2 districts, there has been a need for these 2 districts to activate the second COVID hospitals. Likewise, Kohima has already activated the second COVID hospital, that is at Naga Hospital here in Kohima. And Dimapur is in the process of, the state government has identified the second COVID hospital where a tourist lodge will be converted. It is yet to be activated, but the state government is working on these 2 COVID hospitals in these 2 districts. And in regard to the BSL tree that we have here in the state of Nagaland, so far we have only 1 BSL, which is a BSL tree here in Kohima, which is testing up to only 90 samples per day. And besides this, there are 2 TrueNut machines in the state, one at Mokchung and the other at Mon. So the number of samples being tested are very limited per day. But the health minister has informed that 5 new TrueNuts are arriving in the state either today or tomorrow, likely. And then Tuensang will be one district to receive the 1 TrueNut machine. But in regard to the other districts, he has clarified that depending on the need basis, these TrueNut machines will be distributed in the other districts. So in total, the state government has ordered for 20 TrueNut machines, but we initially are receiving 5 TrueNut machines. And the director of the health department also informed that the TrueNut machines that we are now procuring is of higher quality and it will be able to test about 40 samples in a day. And talking about the BSL labs, the much awaited BSL2 in Dimapur is, the health secretary has informed that it will complete the physical construction by June 10. However, like we know, the documentation for ICMR certification, then the approval, then waiting for the reagents from the ICMR takes some time. So we cannot ascertain as to how many days it will take. But for the physical construction part, it will be completed by the 10th June. That is the coming week.
Thank you for that update, Meadow. And I would like to give us updates from Mizoram. So Mizoram has witnessed a spike in the number of COVID-19 cases. The state currently has 14 COVID-19 cases, of which 13 are active cases and 1 person has been cured. As per the 5 p.m. updates from the IPR of Mizoram, the test results for 250 patients, 250 swab tests is still awaited. And Mizoram is also amping up its testing capacity. The state is going to get 4 more RT-PCR machines. It was informed by the state's health minister yesterday during a press conference. And While out of the four, one is from a private donor. That's what was informed during the press conference. And also, so far, 1,012 samples have been tested till the time the report was filed on our website. On our website, 1,012 cases tests were conducted in the virology lab in the state's only medical college, that is Zoram Medical College. So that's all that we have from Mizoram, and you can find the details of the stories that I just spoke about at our website www.eastmojo.com. Now let's head on to Meghalaya, where a fresh COVID case was reported and one person is recovered. So, Princess, can you give us the updates?
Very good evening, Simran. Yes, today, in fact, Meghalaya has recorded another active case in the state. And for the first time, this case is from Joy, that is West Jaintia Hills, that we've recorded. And apart from this active case that we have now, I'll just give you a rough figure of, details of all the figures that we have so far in the state of Meghalaya. The total active case that we have right now is 17. And taking the total tally of Meghalaya's COVID-19 cases to 31. Now, out of these 31, like I mentioned, 17 are active cases. Now, apart from this, there was one death, which was the starting of all this crisis that has taken place. And apart from this, there is a total of 13 recovered cases. Now, one out of the earlier only 12 recovered cases, and just today itself, Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma has tweeted one active case, which is in Garden Hills, has now recovered. So that means we can see here, that what is happening is that, yes, these Meghalaya is recording cases of, people who are returning back to the state. Most of the cases right now we're seeing is people who are stranded outside returning back. So some of them have tested positive. But thankfully, what's happening is that we're not looking at, a mass spread of this virus here, because what's happening is once they enter the state, they're being kept under institutional quarantine, and they're waiting for the results of the samples to come out. Once the results are out, that is when, if they're tested negative, they're allowed to go back home and continue their home quarantine. But if they're tested,
you got cut off in that part. Can you repeat that for us, Princess?
Yes, like I mentioned, that if the cases right now, if they're being sent home, if they're only tested negative after they're in these institutional quarantines, once the first test, the RT-PCR test that is being carried out, if it's being tested negative, they're allowed to go home and carry out their 14-day mandatory home quarantine. Now, if they're tested positive, then they will have to stay back at these institutional quarantine. But what we're looking at these cases right now here is they're mostly either asymptomatic or very mild, like they're not those severe cases where they require ventilation and all of that. So these are the updates concerning fresh cases in the state of Meghalaya.
Thank you for that update. Now I would like to go to Sally from Manipur. We'll come back to you, Princess. There are more updates from the state. So Sally, can you give us the COVID-19 updates?
Yes, Simran. We haven't received a statement after the lunch, but yes, in the first half of the day, we have received a statement, and as per the statement, 13 returnees from Chennai, Delhi, and Pune has been tested last night, which means in total we have got now 102 confirmed cases. At the same time, the 13 was in fact the highest number of cases which has been detected in a single day. And moreover, along with the 13 cases, 12% were also recovered from the COVID, so they have been discharged last night. So that is also one of the highest recovered patients in a single day. So now, in total, we have got 76 active cases in our state, and out of these, 26% have already been discharged. So yes, according to the Additional Health Director, Dr. Mangang, he said the rate of recovery has tremendously increased. It has increased to 25.49%. So last week it was lesser than that, but since the 12% was at the same time they recovered, so we have the recovered rate stands at 25.49% right now. Now, out of these 16 districts, actually 2 districts were free COVID. But yesterday, out of the 13%, 2 were from the Tamenglong district, which means we have got only one district which is free from COVID, that is the Fezol district. So now 15 is active with the COVID cases, and only one district is free with the COVID now. And regarding this, people who have already tested a sample, it has been tremendously increased, because earlier, as I had mentioned before also, that the testing capacity in a day was like between 200 to 300. But yesterday, 11,000, like the total sample tested so far is 11,653, and yesterday 1,019 samples were tested, which means in an average, at least 1,000 sample has been testing. So yes, as I had mentioned even last time, that the government was tremendously trying to increase or to scale up the testing capacity. At the same time, they are trying to bring back all those stranded passengers. More than 1,000 passengers stuck in Mumbai. They're already on the way, so likely they might be arriving tomorrow. And there is another 2 buses which was flagged up today for Shillong, which means those around 56 passengers will be arriving here in the state in a couple of days. So yes, we have got a lot of more than now around like 29,000 have already arrived from various metro cities, and there are more, like in an institutional quarantine as well as in the community quarantine center right now. Simran.
Thank you for that update. We'll come back to you for another news, Sally. Meanwhile, there's some updates on the numbers, fresh numbers from Sikkim, and there's also news about institutions, educational institutions being reopened in the state. So, Pankaj, can you brief us about that?
Yeah, Simran, I'll go straight to what you mentioned at the end of it. Educational institutes in Sikkim are possibly heading towards a start of a new session by 1st of July is what was indicated today. A notification from the Education Department was also released earlier in the day. And since that comes into the play, I think what the students and the faculties who are mostly from various other parts of the country, specifically from Kalimpong and Darjeeling districts, have been allowed to come back to the state specifically on 8th of June in the coming days, and they'll be facilitated on that specific day. So coming to the education institute specifically, what there is the rounds making currently is of the fact that education institutes are opening, which includes colleges and universities also. But students from within the colleges and universities have been placing a demand that even if the education institutes are opening, the rents that all of these students are paying, staying in various parts of the state capital here in Gangtok, they want it to be waived off by the government if it's a possibility. They have placed a similar such demand, and this has come through from the Sikkim University Students Association early in the day. Now, coming back to the COVID updates that I was mentioning, there's been some fresh numbers that came through from the health department by the health director general, Dr. Pempati Bhutia. There are a total of 4,096 people who were tested in the state as of today, of which 3,031 have come through as negative, with 2 positives. Of them, there are collectively 7 people who are admitted with regards to COVID-related issues. 5 of them are currently in the triage facility of the STNM hospital, with 2 of them being in the isolation ward. Coming to the isolation ward, what insiders from inside the isolation ward have informed us is that both the patients are being kept at 2 separate locations. There was a division of isolation ward being gender-based, with 1 for the male patients, 1 for the female patients. Currently, since there are no female patients, the second case that came through today, the patient was shifted to the female ward, such that there's no contamination or spread of the virus between the 2 patients. Because it is being indicated that the first patient who was a 25-year-old Delhi returnee, he's inclining more towards negative, is what the health director general has also indicated, claiming that his viral load has come down significantly, and he's showing no symptoms of COVID as of now. And among other updates that have been just given to us, there are a total of 3,294 people in facility quarantine across the state. Of them, Of them, 2,811 are in home quarantine currently. Yet, as I mentioned earlier, there's a huge number of people actually coming in from Mumbai, and that is what levels as a big concern for the state currently. Yes, Simran.
Thank you for that update. Thank you so much for that update, Pankaj. There's a report that from Manipur that a discharged patient had to take an auto back home. So, Sally, can you brief us about what exactly happened? Why did the patient have to take an auto back home after she was discharged from the facility?
Okay, Simran, the incident happened on the Sunday, last Sunday. So this 22-year-old girl who had returned from Kolkata was at the Chinim's hospital because she was tested COVID positive. So she was discharged on Sunday, but by the time when she was discharged, the hospital or either the taxi were not willing to transport back to Kamchong. So from Imphal to Kamchong, it takes more than 100 kilometers. So this girl, since the family members also could not come and meet her, given the issues of the virus. So actually, the previous patients whoever has been discharged from the hospital, either REAMS or TNEMS, normally dropped by either ambulance or by vehicle. I mean, like the hospital provided the vehicles. So this girl, she was like later when she was about to discharge, she was told that she will be provide the ambulance. That was the initial statement that she said.
But what happened? Why was she not given an ambulance?
Yeah, so when she discharged, when she was waiting outside the hospital, there was no ambulance, there was no such vehicles being arranged by the hospital. So she approached the authorities of the hospital and she was asked to arrange her own vehicles. So this is a problem because even if she is based in Imphal, it's nearby from the hospital, right? She could have arranged a vehicle. But being she is from another district, that is like in Kamchong, and that also her village, her actual village is Kip. That's the name of the village, and that is the last village in the Kamchong district. It's the border. It's along the border. So yes, since there was no such option, because even the taxis, after knowing her condition, that she had been the COVID patient once, even the taxi was not willing to, drop her, even though she wanted to hire the taxi or another vehicle. That's where this lady, the auto lady, in fact, she is the first lady auto driver from our state. Yeah, and her name is Ije Laibi Oinan. That's where she volunteered herself. So she was actually observing the girl, the patient, how she has been struggling, how she's trying to convince the authorities or the other taxi drivers in order to drop her. So the incident happened at 3 p.m. That was the time where she was discharged. But by the time they started the journey by auto from Imphal, it was already 6 p.m. That means like for 3 hours she was struggling. She was struggling alone in Imphal itself, but all alone by herself. So this E.T. Wainam, the auto driver, she was actually selling vegetables because since there is a lockdown, you cannot ferry or transport. The auto service is not, we don't have an auto service right now. So as a means of livelihood, she was selling vegetables nearby the hospital. That's what the patients had. So this lady auto driver, she volunteered herself and she said, it's okay, let me drop you if you are okay with it. That's where they started the journey at 6 p.m. from Imphal on Sunday. And by the time they reached Kamjong district headquarters, it was already 2:30 a.m. on the next day. The reason being why it took them for that long hours was since it's a hilly station and it's a monsoon season, so they cannot drive very fast because of the weather conditions. So that's the reason they went through a lot of trouble during this journey. It was like more than 8 hours they traveled from Imphal to Kamjong. So this lady, yes, definitely this auto driver has been appreciated, getting a lot of appreciation from the social media users. So
Definitely. For her
yes,
gestures, she must be appreciated. And like we have already spoken about,
yeah. So
stigmatization of COVID-19 patients should be ignored. And this is a clear case of stigmatization where the taxi services around the hospital refused to take her. So it's an appeal to from the state and central leaders that please do not stigmatize COVID-19 patients. So yeah, Sally, you were saying something.
Yeah, so even the patient's father, when I spoke with him over the phone, he did pointed out that yes, the state government, even though there is no official guidelines that the state or the hospital will be dropping off the patients after the discharge, since this is a lockdown, there is no public transport services, and not every family has a vehicle, private vehicles, right? So the patient's father did pointed out that this is the first kind of case that has been happened to his daughter. But this can be, if the state government did not intervene in such kind of cases, this can continue because a lot of patients from very far flung places also in a hospitals have been, yes. So he did point it out that yeah, the government has to intervene in such kind of situations.
Thank you for that update. But definitely, yes, the government has to intervene in such kind of situations. And like I've already said, stigmatization is one of the major issues related with COVID-19, and that must be ignored. It's an appeal from everybody, from our leaders, and from the general public that we must avoid stigmatization. Anyhow, moving on. There were decisions taken about the lockdown in Meghalaya today. Let's get the updates from Princess. Princess?
Um, yes, Simran. So, during a review meeting that was held today by the Meghalaya government, so they've made a few decisions. Now, a few decisions are like, they've allowed the opening of shopping complexes in the state because earlier they've closed down. And even though they've allowed also, these were just like single storage shop inside. Mainly, what we've seen here in Meghalaya, especially the biggest hub that is Police Bazaar, most of the all the complexes were closed during this lockdown. So now the government has decided that these shopping complexes will be open for the public, but based on the protocols of the health protocols that have been set out. So they will be on a 50% rotational basis, and the deputy administrator, the deputy commissioners have been, advised to set out the order and to give out, to issue a notification which are the complexes which will be open for Monday, for Tuesday, so on and so forth. Now, apart from this, decision that they've made, there is another decision that is concerning the import and export. Now, what they've decided today is that the government has allowed the activities of border trade activities. But what do you mean by border trade activities? This will only mean import and export activities, but not like border huts, like these markets that they have. Those will not be allowed, but it only consists of import and export trade activities. Now, apart from this, there was also one more decision that was taken today. And that will be like earlier we had informed, even on EastMojo we had reported, where the government has decided and allowed since the state does not have technicians or highly skilled machines, high-tech machines, they don't have that. So what they've allowed is that laborers, who are high-skilled laborers, they were allowed to come from outside of the state. But what the government has decided, because there was a lot of voices that were raised in the state, where a lot of backlash, the local organizations have, disagreed with this decision, with the government's decision, and has, voiced the opinion that why the people in the state have not been given an opportunity. So what the government has decided today is that they've asked these private business houses or contractors, to inform to the labor department if they are in need of, if they require any high skilled technicians. And then an advertisement will go out, and people from the state will be able to apply for these job opportunities, and a training will also be taken if required, and this training will be free of cost for the people here. And remember this, the government is also informed that, the people from the state will be, a high preference will be given to those people from the state, so that it will be easier, so that there's no, interstate or kind of movement is there. So this will be a safer thing. So these are the decisions that were made today.
Thank you for that update, Princess. And lastly, today we have a new SOP for returnees in the state of Nagaland. So, Meadow, can you please brief us about that?
Yes, so following a cabinet meeting on June 1, new SOPs for returnees were notified, and it said that all returnees coming back to the state will land in Dimapur, and then those found, they will be segregated according to the districts, and those found asymptomatic, they will be taken back to the respective districts, and their samples will be collected there itself for COVID-19 testing. And those who are found symptomatic, they will have to undergo medical protocol in Dimapur, and then in Dimapur and Kohima, and based on their fitness, they will be transported back to their districts. And those who are found to be fit will be sent back to the district, and the respective COVID hospitals will have to initiate the treatment for these positive cases. And also, those returnees who are sent back to the district, they will have to undergo the 14-day mandatory quarantine that is prescribed by the state government. And once they are found to be negative and asymptomatic, they will be sent home for 14 days quarantine. So a detailed SOP, which was released by the state government, is also up on our website, Simran. Also, we have just received the statistics for this day, and I would also like to highlight that. So cumulatively, 3,313 samples were sent for testing, and 58, like I've mentioned earlier, were tested positive, and 1,901 were tested negative, and the result for 1,354 are awaited. Also, in addition to these, 101 samples were tested by the TrueNut machines, and all this have reported negative. And out of the 58 active cases, 41 are asymptomatic and 17 are mild symptomatic. Also, a total of 4,410 are currently under the facility quarantine. And in regard to the rupees 10,000 monetary aid that was announced by the state government for those people who chose to stay back in the respective place of stay and not return back to the state, a total of 13.018 crore have been disbursed to 13,018 persons. This is in regard to the rupees 10,000 aid the state government has assured to provide for people who opts to stay back outside the state, Simran.
Thank you so much for that update, Meadow. And with that, we come to an end for today's show. I would like to thank all our viewers for taking out time and supporting us and watching our show, My Report, where we bring the latest news and happenings from the region. You can find all the stories and all the reports that we've discussed in our show. You can find all of them are available on our website. Web stories about them are available on our website. You can read them at www.eastmojo.com. If you have any suggestions, any ideas, any events that should be covered, you can write to us at editor@eastmojo.com, or you can message us via our Facebook page. We also have a dedicated fact-checking team. So if you have any news item, any photos, videos, or any other information which you think should be verified, or which seems like it could be untrue, please send it across to us at editor@eastmojo.com, and like I've mentioned, on our Facebook page. Please stay connected with us via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. That's all. This is Simran Bajaj signing off for today.